أهلا وسهلا بكل متابعين كنار تي في. أهلا وسهلا فيكم في منتدى الشباب، برنامج أسبوعي كل يوم سبت الساعة 9 مساء بتوقيت نيويورك. فأهلا وسهلا فيكم. اليوم معنا طبعا حدا من أهل البرنامج، خلينا نقول بهاء. he's always with us. بهاء التميمي، أهلا وسهلا فيك. ضيفتنا إيمان أبو كار. هلا بدنا نعطيكم كل واحد كم دقيقة يعرف عن نفسه. وأيضا العزيزة زينب عرب. أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا. حابة أخلي كل واحد فيكم يعطينا يعني نص دقيقة يعرف الجمهور عن نفسه. تفضلوا، نبلش من عند إيمان.
أنا اسمي إيمان وعايشة بتكساس. عمري 18 سنة وعم بدرس فاشن ديزاين. I mean that's basically yeah.
Alright. أهلا وسهلا فيكي. أهلين. زينب.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zainab Arab. I'm living in Canada. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a first-year student in human kinetics.
أهلا فيكي. بهاء.
أنا اسمي بهاء وأنا بدرس في جامعة أوتاوا، بدرس علوم صيدلية، وقاعد معاكم اليوم زي كل أسبوع.
أهلا وسهلا فيك. alright. فاليوم الموضوع كتير حلو على فكرة. إحنا قاعدين نحكي عن تنظيم الوقت وعن كيف نرتب إدارة الوقت. basically ككوتش بقول لكم، وكأم وكسيدة أعمال برضو. إذا هاي النقطة إذا ما سيطرنا عليها استحالة نقدر نسيطر أو ننجح أو نعمل أي شيء. يعني عشان تنجز، عشان تحس بنهارك، عشان تستمتع فيه، لازم توصل لمرحلة إنك تنظم وقتك. فأنا طبعاً رح نسمع آرائكم. إحنا بدنا نتعلم منكم كمان ونشوف شو رأيكم في الموضوع. بس حابة أبلش معاكم. لما بقيت أدور على أفضل الطرق لتنظيم الوقت، لقيت إنه في إشي اسمه the Eisenhower Matrix. أوكي، حدا بيحكي إنه الرئيس إحدى الرؤساء الأمريكان. Do you guys want to speak in English or Arabic, by the way?
I'm more comfortable with English personally, so.
Okay, so let's.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I just noticed. Okay, so basically, the Eisenhower matrix is a 4-point schedule or like way of thinking, so you can benefit from the time and prioritize your time, okay, effectively, so you can get things done. The first one, he said, or based on him, he would say urgent and important tasks will be done immediately. So I'm going to make it into a game, okay? So in each one of you, we're going to take turns. What is in your day you think that comes? It doesn't have to be every day, by the way. What's in your day that comes that you think it becomes urgent and immediately? He said urgent and immediately, an important task will be done immediately, high deadline cost. What does it mean? That means if I don't meet the deadline, I'm going to have a cost. It's going to cost me. Iman, give us something in your day that you have to meet the deadline.
Anything that has to do with school, because right when I get assigned, I had a problem with procrastinating where I would always turn it in like 5 minutes before it's due and just think like that's fine. But throughout the week, I'd be stressing about the assignment. So I learned like right when teachers give us assignments to do it that same day and get it over with, so I don't have to worry about it the whole week. I think my classwork is urgent and it's the most important thing because I'm a full-time student. So, get school things out of the way, then like focus on work and friends and family and all that, just so you can manage things.
Okay, so this is really good. How about you, Zainab? What do you have in your daily routine that you think it's urgent and important and it cannot be waiting?
It would probably be like the same, like for assignments and like tests and all that for school. Although I still do very much have a procrastinating problem. I try my best to, try and get things done ahead of time, and because procrastinating, it does stress you out quite a lot. And when you get something done early or ahead of time, it's like relieving because you don't have to worry about it anymore. So yeah.
That's very true. Okay, Baha, something in your day that needs to be done urgent and immediately, and the cost of deadline is too much for you.
I have a lot of important things that need to be done, but I wouldn't call anything urgent because I already know it's coming. So for me, urgent would be something that's like due in tomorrow or like in 5 minutes. So I don't think anything like I have would be called urgent. Everything is important, but I wouldn't call it urgent because I have a lot of time to look it over.
Good. Let's say your day is going normally, and then what do you give us a scenario that something comes up and it needs to be done now and immediately? Like anything, have this ever happened to you? Because life is hard to be on that days.
Not really. Like my days are really normal.
Okay.
Nothing just pops up.
All right. So secondly, important but not urgent. Secondary to test, ya Iman, what do you have? Or secondary to school? Do you work or you just go to school right now?
I work, but it's like at my own time. Would be like spending time with my family. I don't know, like I really like my family. So that's like a big deal to me.
Okay.
To always like make time for my family.
So it is important, but yeah, whenever you can right now. How about you, Zainab?
Well, I do work, so I do prioritize work quite a bit. And like I always kind of do like my priorities are like school, then work/family, because sometimes I have to put work before family, depending. So,
yeah, of course. Yeah, they are more flexible with you, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Baha, anything do you have that's urgent, not urgent, but important things after school work?
I think schoolwork for me would be important, but not urgent.
Okay.
Because most of my assignments are like they're given to me before their deadline for a long time, so I can control that. But also, I remembered something for urgent and important. So I like to teach other people, and their questions, like I can't anticipate their questions, so their questions just come up. So that would be to answer them would be really urgent to me.
Okay, that's awesome. Yes, good for you. Then I'm not gonna go into this, but we can go. He said number like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is neither urgent or important. This is basically based to him is do last or don't do at all. These are neither important, neither urgent. If I get to them, perfect. If I don't get to them, that's okay. For me as a mom and a business owner and doing all this stuff, I do this all the time. Like if I get to this, that's fine after my appointment and taking care of my family. If not, well, too bad. Okay, so these are the 4 things about the Eisenhower metrics. Now I want every one of you to give me, where do you struggle when it comes to time management? Iman.
I feel like days are going by much quicker, especially because during COVID, like everything's online, everything's on Zoom. So it's like you don't wake up early and have like how you would wake up for actually going to university. So it's really just fixing sleep schedule, because I would like go to sleep super late, wake up late, and that would mess up my whole day because then I wouldn't have enough time to get everything that I need to do for that day. So also like fixing sleep schedule and just having a routine because it's hard now during Corona.
So we've been going through this for a while. Did you come to the point where you're good at it right now?
Yeah.
Good.
Just recently.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it takes time. It takes time to break it. Zainab, where do you have hard time or struggling with time management?
Probably the same as you meant, in the sense like sleeping. Because even now, like I'm trying my best to get back into a good sleep schedule, but it's very hard, especially when you're staying at home all the time. But also, like getting things done. Like I could set multiple tasks for myself to do in a day, but then I could only get like a couple of them done just because I keep putting things off. And it's, I work on it, but yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, most people at one point of their life, they do struggle with like putting things off to the side. So that's okay. The thing is, what's not okay is to stay in this state, but we will talk about ways to get out of this habit. Baha, do you struggle with, working with your time, scheduling, put priorities?
For me, I don't really have much of a problem, except that usually when I wake up, I really want to go do something. Well, actually, at 6 a.m. I really want to do something, but that's the time when I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my sleep schedule is really flipped, and it only affects that part. Like the part where like I'm supposed to wake up, that's when I actually go to sleep.
Oh, wow. Are you still going to school online or?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing about that?
Nothing. I'm kind of like, I got used to it. For me, I just, like I have my courses. I can sleep in short bursts during the day and stay awake at night and sleep from 6 to 12 because I don't really have much going on then. But yeah, like I sleep between my classes. But other than that, I don't really like do much about it because it really doesn't affect me that much.
It's more
I'm in control of it.
All right. Well, I mean, if it works for you, that's fine. So if you guys have to really ended up with something that's gonna force you to wake up early, because I see this is as a pattern in all the guys, even with my boys, is the sleep late. What are you guys doing during all this night time? I mean, for a woman who just get knocked off at 10 p.m., what's going on there? Zainab, what do you get busy with at night?
Well, sometimes I have to do work at night, and other times I just get distracted, like talking to friends and stuff, or like, writing notes. But the problem is, my job, I also have to get up very early. So my schedule can be kind of a mess in terms of some nights during the week I go to bed at like 2 or 3 a.m. And then on the weekends when I have to work, I have to get up at like 4:45. So it's a lot, like there's a big difference there. So I have to force myself to go to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard. So especially when you have to wake up early. Which one of you guys is the best at multitasking? And which multitasking do you do? Driving and eating? Or which one of you do you think you're the master of multitasking? No, none of you. That takes only moms do this. Okay. So
multitasking takes a lot of work.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's dangerous and bad. Okay. Like you cannot drive and multitask anything. This is like your whole focus is your life, basically, because it's on the line, on the street, and other people's life. But do you guys have any idea if you want to multitask, what would you do, Baha? It seems like you do things.
For me, if I wanted to multitask, which I don't because it's not going to work. Actually, yeah, it never works. So I don't really bother.
You never answer like text messages when you are studying? That's multitasking.
I do, but then I stop studying.
Okay, so that's not called multitasking. Okay.
Yeah.
Any of you girls, you have actually women are better at multitasking at men. Sorry,
yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, sometimes I watch lectures and take notes, or cook and do other things.
All right, so you like cooking?
Yes.
All right. So everybody basically talks about putting things off. We're dragging things, and sometimes like I have to catch up to the last minute. Have you ever heard about Mel Robbins talks about the 5-second rule? Have you ever heard about it?
No, the bacteria thing?
No.
It's like if you want to do something, you have 5 seconds to get up and go do it.
After 5 seconds, forget it, because your brain is going to jump in and give you a million excuses and other tasks to do it. Good job, Iman. Yeah. Mel Robbins, actually, she got herself out of failure stage and depression because, like Zainab said, we feel bad when we put things back and we know we need to be done. and the brain keep nagging at you because it's kind of it put a slot in the brain or a file saying that at this time you should be doing this. So Mel Robbins did the 5-second rule, which means that she said she count backward, just like NASA. This is in her mind, like, you know, she's like a missile. Her problem was to get out of the bed early, to start her day, to start sending resumes. At that time, she was financially in trouble, and she would say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At once she jumps. If she stays 2 seconds more, her brain will kick in and tell her, oh, you can't sleep, you know, snooze. You can sleep 5 more minutes. You could do this, you could do that. So she got to the point, she understood that she need to beat her brain before it start giving her ideas about, oh, forget it, you could do this or that. So maybe you guys can try that and see if it works for you. I know Baha has many points here prepared for us. Go ahead, Baha.
Okay, just a second. So I wanted to know what time management meant to each one of you. So I'll start with Iman. What do you think time management means to you?
Time management means like all the things you're trying to do in that day, basically break it down throughout that day to get it so you can achieve all those things that you wanted. Basically just have a routine or a schedule. I think like that's how I see it as.
That's good.
What about you?
For me, it'd be like getting things done when I plan to get them done, and also allowing for myself to have like a decent break, because I think a lot of people don't realize how important a break is. So yeah.
What about you, Ms. Reem?
Okay, well, thank you for asking me. Time management to me, it is important. And Zainab, you just brought in a huge point, especially for me. Time management means doing all the things important in my day to do without stressing myself out, because I was the person, my problem was I would schedule 20 things and I wanted to be done in like half the time supposed to be done. So a lot of time my husband asked me the question is like, do you know what time is? Because I would put like 4 things that need 5 hours to be done in 2-hour slot. So that took me time to know that, no, I need to be rest. I shouldn't be so stressed out to time management. So for me, time management means to do the important things I need to do in a timely manner without stressing myself out. So the task that needs an hour, now I give it an hour and 15 minutes or hour and a half. So I am always like, I'm relaxed while I do it. That's what it means to me. How about you, Baha?
For me, it just means to be able to segment your time into different things and give the appropriate amount of time to each task without really stressing about rigid time slots. So I'm not going to dedicate 1 hour specifically to one thing. I'm going to just do the thing, and when it ends, it ends.
Exactly. Good for you. I'm glad you guys now know how important it is to be relaxed and not to be so stressed out. I'm not saying just to be laid back and like something need an hour, I give it 5 hours. But at the same time, no, it is important for you to be comfortable with what you're doing. Otherwise, you will be burnt within a very short period. What else?
Do you think different people have different time management styles? What do you think, Zainab?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I know some people that I know, they're very like ahead of time, I guess. They can get things done ahead of time very easily, and that works for them. And then there's other people who actually prefer to leave things last minute, and they feed off the stress that leaving things off gives them, and it makes you do better. So yeah. It's kind of interesting if you think about it. So
Yeah. What about you, Iman? What do you think? Do you think different people have different time management styles?
Yeah, especially like the ones that are hardworking, like they try to they can do so much in a day that maybe I can't do, because they just know how to break everything down and just make sure like they get everything done.
It's a skill. It's a skill to learn. And I think it's good to know yourself, so you know what, even time management, there are a million kinds. You have to know yourself. Raise your hand if you're a morning person. Okay. Raise your hand if you're an evening person. So yeah, so that's a difference too. That makes a difference in about how you're gonna manage your day than me. Again, Zainab said something important. Some people like to work under stress. I don't know what it gives them. I used to be that way, like the last minute, and I feel great because I even though I left it to the last minute, but I didn't know how much stress I was putting on myself. Some people know they are so good at putting 10 minutes before and 15 minutes after. So no matter what happened, they are in their comfort zone. So I do believe that, Baha. Thank you. That's a very good point. Everybody has their own style, and they should know themselves.
What do you think is more important, having good time management skills, or being flexible and being able to adapt to anything that comes up? What do you think, Iman?
I mean, that's a hard question because it could mean like the same, because I feel like either one that you have, you're still like, you're set for life. I feel like anything new you start out, it's gonna be difficult at first for everyone, but you know, everyone adapts to things. But I still would choose time management. I think people who know how to break things down and handle their business and what they need to get done first, have it like a stress-free life. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Again, there isn't a right or wrong here, literally. Some people, like entrepreneurs like me, they enjoy, and actually this is one thing I love about my job is the freedom. Like, I am not a person who you can put in an office maybe 9 to 5 or to 6, and I have to do one task all day, repeat. Okay, so for those people, I don't think those people who works in the offices, they're gonna have to be people who would go with schedule slots and every minute knows what you want to do. Otherwise they cannot actually manage this kind of a job. It's either or. I believe it depends on the area of your life. Some areas in our life we're gonna have to, like in my life, doctor appointments, I'm gonna have to be like leave a slot for that and follow it by the minute. Same thing with my appointments. At the same time, part of my life I can be flexible. I want to know about you, Baha. Which kind do you prefer, and what area is your play?
For me, I like to orient my my schedule around my time, not the other way around. But sometimes I get forced into it, and even then, I can still shift around my schedule. For example, for me, sleep is what takes up most of my day. So, for example, it can be like 10, 12 hours of sleep because because I sleep in the morning, it just drags out for longer.
It does.
So that would like I would be able to move that time around and fit other things into it.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. What else do you have for us?
Iman, Mrs. Reem said that there is this hierarchy to time management. Do you think that is true? Do you think that different tasks should be sorted differently? How would you sort your tasks?
Like, are you saying from like do what's most important first and what's last?
Not necessarily, just how would you do it?
How would I do it?
Yeah, how would you sort your task? Would you go by the easiest first or the hardest first, or by urgency and importance? How would you go about it?
I would say I'd probably get the hardest task out the way first. For example, mine would be working out in the morning, because I just realized, like, working out in the morning just gets me set for the day, and I just feel energized. And instead of waking up whatever time I have to wake up, like, no, I tell myself, okay, you have to be up by like 10 a.m., 9 a.m. So, and I feel like working out is the hardest task. So I get the hardest one first, because I just like get it out the way. And I don't know, I feel like if you do stuff in the mornings, it just goes by quicker.
Okay.
What about you, Zainab? How do you sort your tasks? By importance and urgency, or by difficulty, or any other way, for example?
Probably both, actually. Like if I know it's going to be hard and it's also important, I will try and get it done as soon as possible, or at least I like to try and get it done. But then also have a break and work on things less important and less urgent. So, yeah.
What about you, Mrs. Reem?
I am an urgent and important person. My day has to go very much because I have kids and I have, a house, and I have my business, which is very important to me. So I go, if I schedule somebody, he's the urgent and he's the important. Okay. If you have scheduled to take a session with me, your session is on top of everything, except if we have an emergency, let's say, la samah Allah, somebody get sick or something, and we have to go to the doctor, this become an urgent and important. So all my day is going by the people who I schedule, and in between I know exactly when I'm going to be taking breaks. I don't take sessions like back to back. And I write. I'm like finishing up my book, and I have to take care of my son and give him time to talk to him. So it's all day, it has to go by important and urgent. And yes, I cannot mess up that by any means. So most of the time, this time management issue, especially at your age, guys, where it gets messed up, where we lose time, we lose energy, we lose, la samah Allah, sometimes our school and stuff, it goes with the stuff that you get busy with, distractions. Distractions, that's what it is. As soon as you make a conscious decision that you wake up and know I have this issue, don't be ashamed, because we all have went through it, especially at your age. Don't be defensive. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? We went through it. Acknowledge that you have the issue of that. I don't have time management. I need to find help. Articles all over. Find out what is it that robbing you from your rest. What's stealing the time that I should be sleeping at? Is it worth it? What's distracting me? You have a friend, a needy friend that keeps texting till 3 o'clock. Hey, maybe at 10 o'clock you need to block him and go back and unblock him at 7 a.m. next time. You have friends who live in different country, and now it's very convenient for them to be talking to you, and it's not convenient to do, and they do not care. Maybe it's time to think, well, I mean, you slept your night, and now you're going to keep me up all night so I can't sleep in the day. We need to think about all these things, okay? So your dad is leaving us a comment. We have to look at it. All right. Ustaz Muhammad, thank you, of course, very much for participating. He said, كل ذات يعتمد على شخصية الإنسان. المهم أن يختار الإنسان الأسلوب الذي يحقق له إنجاز كافة الأعمال في وقتها. Basically what he's saying, everybody is different. You just have to adapt the way of life that actually help you to get all your goals done. And that's what I'm asking you to do, and all our viewers. You need to make sure you meet your priorities. You make sure you cut distractions. You make sure you love yourself more than anything in the world. If it's a game, man, the game is already there. It's going to be there, okay? But who's going to wake up instead of you and go to college? Answering text messages, thank God. Those text messages stays on your phone for years. I can answer it in the morning. And even though, like, I am older when I started my company, but I got into that too, where people want to send me from a different part of the world. That's why I'm saying about this. They send me a message at 1:30 a.m. I love my job, by the way. I love it to the point that I would wake up when my phone makes a sound, and I get up at 1:30 and answer them. But at one point when I was like, okay, you have a business, believe it. All right, perfect. Now I need to put myself first. I need to rest so I can next morning be myself, be the mom, be the manager of my business and all that stuff. So last thing, what you guys want to tell us about time management that you might want to integrate and change in your life, so we can end with that. Go ahead, Baha. This time we're going to have you first.
For me, I think I just want to be able to sleep less, because it takes a lot of my time, and that time I can put it somewhere else. My problem is that I'm a really deep sleeper. So if I can make my sleep lighter, then maybe I can make it more efficient. Or maybe I can just sleep at night like a normal person, but I don't like that.
Why?
It's not something. I like the night more. Like
do you know the effect of day sleep on your body, and what the effect on your hormones and body and everything during the day?
Probably bad. I've heard about it a couple of times.
It actually brings your immune system down. It really affects your cells working and all that stuff. So unless you really have to, I don't recommend it. So I want another thing, what you can do, Baha, is start running or walking, because that will give you more energy. Deep sleep, don't work on the deep sleep. Deep sleep is good. Your body needs it. That means your body is working. But what you need to do is to start shifting your day. You don't have to start all of a sudden. It's like, 10 p.m. I'm going to sleep. It's okay to stay till midnight and sleep till 7. It's slowly you will shift into the new and integrate into the new system. I really, really advise you for that. Let's hear from Zainab. What are the things that you think you can do to improve on your time management? Zainab, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, sorry. My internet is being really bad right now.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Something I'd really like to cut out is normally, like, I'll try and put it down and not pick it up till like a couple hours later, but normally if I pick it up, then I'm on it for like an hour or something. So, it takes a lot of time. So I'd really like to minimize how much time I'm on my phone when I'm supposed to be doing, like, schoolwork or things like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you can benefit from the 5-second rule? Zainab, connection is not that good. We're going to move to Iman. Iman, I will come back to you, Zainab. Iman, what can you do to improve your time management?
Just like Zainab said, to just restrict myself from being on my phone so much, because there's like nothing better to do than to just sit there on your phone. So I need to think of or find new hobbies and just fill up my days. So that's what I want to work on.
Mm-hmm. Zainab, you were saying something before your computer froze?
Wait, what was the last thing you heard?
Baha, what did the last thing we heard?
She was asking about the 5-second rule. Do you think it would be helpful to you?
Probably.
To count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you do the things that you think you should be doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like this. Because I'm sorry that your internet connection is not that good, but we came to the end of our show. I really appreciate your opinion, your participation, and everything you have said about time management. It's an important task. It's an important muscle for you guys to build. I'm going to end with Dr. Jamal, what he said, and then we end the show. Sometimes you have to install app to restrict you from using other apps. The time you you or we lost now will never gain. That's very true. That's very true. So use the technology to your advancement, maybe or advantage. You can actually put a timer on your phone, and when it rings, done, I should get off Facebook. Maybe you can use, like we said, use apps like Dr. Jamal said, to actually restrict you during the night from using the other the phone or some apps that they keep you awake, and this way you can manage your time. But I really appreciate you. You guys are brilliant guys, and I see a great future ahead of you. Like I said, nobody is perfect. You're not perfect. We're not perfect as parents. So, but just keep going. You know, there is no limit to where you can get yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, Iman and Zainab. Thank you, Baha. It's always a pleasure working with you. And see you guys next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. ملتقى الشباب. We can always discuss any subject you guys think we could. You just leave us a comment.